Morning, Monday morning, here we are again. So our third week in lockdown. Hope everyone is doing okay. Let's hope that this week brings us some answers about what's going to be happening next week. So whether gyms and sports facilities are going to be opening up again, fingers crossed. So we'll see what this week brings. So fingers crossed for that. So today's session, folks, as we always do on a Monday, nice and gentle. So just preparing us for the day ahead and for the week ahead. Particularly focused on prenatal, but also suitable for anyone who just wants a nice gentle start to the day, start to the week, the opportunity just to stretch out a little bit, check into their body, and just to limber up a little bit while keeping everything very manageable. So we're going to be standing to start with, so our usual mobility warm-up, and then we're going to pop onto hands and knees. So particularly for those people who, like myself, might be getting right near the end of their pregnancy now, so third trimester, and thinking about encouraging baby to drop into the best position for birth. So hands and knees, and any movement on your hands and knees, so rocking side to side, forwards and back, is actually fantastic for helping baby to turn so that they are looking towards your spine, which is the optimal position for birth. If baby was back to back and looking up, so sunny side up, doesn't mean that baby can't be born. It's just not quite as optimal, so it can make the labour a little bit longer, a little bit more painful in your back. So we're going to be spending some time on our knees. So my little boy is looking towards my back, which is fantastic, but I want to keep him there. So that's why we're going to be popping onto hands and knees today. I want to encourage him to stay in that position. Particularly because it looks like he's measuring a little bit big, so he may surprise us and turn up earlier than we expected. So let's see what happens there. We'll pop onto our backs for a little bit of lower back stretching as well. Of course, we're not going to stay on our backs for very long, because we want to avoid that in any stage of pregnancy, really after first trimester, but definitely if anyone's this far along. So we'll just be popping onto our backs for a short amount of time, and then we'll finish seated with those lovely spine stretches and just checking into the neck again at the end. Okay, so that's the plan. So just a little bit of space to move. It's not, there's not going to be a ton of movement, so make sure that you're warm enough and that you're comfortable. There's nothing worse than lying down, trying to relax and stretch or focus on your pelvic floor when you're freezing. So just make sure that you're comfy and you're cozy, and that you are lovely and relaxed and ready to start. Okay, so let's pop up onto our feet to get going. So up we go. Takes me a while to get up, sorry about this. Okay, so I'm going to leave the light on because it's a little bit grey today. Looks a bit dark in here otherwise. So let's just start with waking the body up, mobilising the spine a little bit, and just opening up these sides of your rib cage, especially if you are, again, if you're second, third trimester and trying to now sleep on your side. Obviously we can't sleep on our front, so we don't want to be sleeping on our backs. I find that I get quite sore along my rib cage sometimes overnight, because you're constantly, all your weight is on one side or the other, and depending how baby's lying, my little boy likes this side of my belly, so being on my right side is really uncomfortable because he's sticking out. So trying to lie on that side is not good. So I spend most of the night on my left side, which is great for him, but I end up really sore along my ribs. So we're going to stretch those out as well. So we'll be doing some pelvic floor work in each of 3 positions as well. Just trying to get us into the state of mind of thinking about those pelvic floor, that hammock of pelvic floor muscles. So our Kegel exercises. that are really going to help during labour and really going to help afterwards as well, just to help knit everything back together, stop any accidents from happening. So let's just bring our feet into balance. So underneath knees and hips, drawing your little imaginary lines across your big toes and down from your centre of your hips through the centre of your knee down to that second toe, and just feel the mat or the carpet underneath your feet so that you feel balanced and you feel grounded. So down, equal weight through both sides. Let's soften the knees and start to tuck that tailbone under, especially if that bump is getting big and heavy. So he's now nearly, well, not him, but the bump could be fluid. But last measurement, he's nearly 6 pounds. That's nearly half a stone of weight that's pulling my pelvis forwards and pulling my upper body forwards. So really important now to keep that tailbone tucked underneath us. And even though there's a big old bump there, we can still think about engaging the belly button in towards the spine. So it's like we're giving baby a hug with those tummy muscles, holding him close to us. Let's just relax the shoulders down, back and down, and just open the chest. So let's really open the chest so we can get some good breaths in, particularly if you're feeling a little bit breathless, or I've been really out of breath whole pregnancy, as the uterus pushes up and squashes the diaphragm into the rib cage. There's just not so much room to breathe. So we want to try and open that up as much as possible. So let's just sink that chin down from there. So checking into the back of the neck. And then if you just take that head on up to the ceiling, have a little peek. And then just sink that chin back down again. One more little peek to the ceiling. And then sink that chin down again. And rock and roll from left to right side. So just let the head roll a little bit. Doesn't have to be a very big movement. You might hear some crunching and some grinding going on. So those first couple of rolls have got a bit of crunching. And then just gently bring your head back up on top. Lifting lovely and tall. Take that little peek over the right one. Come through the centre. Take that little peek over the left one. And then just come back to centre. Let that right ear just head on down. Doesn't have to go anywhere near to your shoulder, just in that direction. And then just take a little pop over to the other side. Give that neck a stretch. And then if you do that one more time, so just hop on over to the right. And then let's hop on over to the left. And then back to centre, lovely. Drop your chin just one more time to even things up. And then build that head back up on top. Now I want you to take a nice big deep breath in and draw the arms up above your head. And at the same time, think about lifting up through your pelvic floor. So imagine it kind of like an elevator, and you're going to squeeze that pelvic floor up through the next couple of floors, okay? So take an inhale breath up, squeeze the pelvic floor up, and then as you exhale, just gently let that pelvic floor come back down. So under control again. Exhaling down. So I find the pelvic floor hardest to engage when I'm standing up. So maybe you find a different position easier. Maybe you find it easier to concentrate when you're sat down perhaps, or maybe when you're lying down. So let's come on up. Relaxing that pelvic floor down. So if we just do one more of those, so let's come on up. And then exhale down. And then releasing there. Roll those shoulders back. So just take a really lovely big roll back, and again. Lovely. Just do that one more time. Big exaggerated circles. So make them really, really big. And then just relax them down. Now my favourite bit. Start to creep down to that right hand side. So feel the lengthening here along the rib cage. And then just squeeze back up to centre. Take a little peek down to the left. and then just come back up to center. Creep right again, pause at the bottom, and just open up that left arm and really feel like you're pushing up and into those left fingertips. And then just come back to center. Let's creep on down with that left one and feel as though you are pushing up and away into those right fingertips this time. Lovely big stretch. And then just come back to center. Lovely. This time roll your shoulders forwards. So exaggerate that roll, make it ever so big. See how wide you can make that circle. Just do it one more time. And then because we do want the shoulders sat back, roll them back one more time. Lovely. Super. Now let's bring the arms out to your flying height. So up at shoulder height. Keep that pelvis nice and still now. And just take a bit of rotation to the right. We're not pushing it too far. Just come back to center. Think about the pelvis staying stable. Just waking up that spine. Go on one more time to the right. Come back to center. One more time to the left. Come back to center. Relax your arms down a little bit. Take a lovely big inhale up. And then exhale down. Now what we're going to do is creep our feet wider if you've got a bump to accommodate, okay? So if you haven't, you can keep your feet underneath your hips, but we're going to go a little bit wider to roll the spine if we need to pop that bump somewhere. So let's take that inhale breath up again. Exhale down. We're going to roll the spine down just as far as is comfortable. So drop your chin. Just let the spine start to roll. And just remember, especially if that's a big old bump there, that we're not going to be able to go as far as we used to, but we can still get that nice rolling feeling through the spine. Start to roll your way back up. Roll the shoulders back at the top. And let's go again. So helping to ease out that lower back. Lovely. And let's come on up. Roll the shoulders. And then let's just do it one more time. So let's just come down. Nice. Lovely. And then roll your way back up. And relax those arms. Beautiful. Okay, folks. So time to go down onto our knees. We're going to be going onto hands and knees. So if you shuffle yourself to where you've got that mat or that carpet underneath, pop down onto hands and knees however is comfortable, and just take a moment to have a little bit of a wiggle through those hips. Just side to side. So using gravity here to help baby just turn in the way that we want them to. So taking the heaviest part of their body down towards the front of your belly, so they're looking towards your spine. And then if you come around in a circle as well, so practicing all those positions you're going to need in the labour ward, helping to ease that lower back. Go round the other way as well. Lovely. So round you go. Let's do one more circle. And then just come back to the centre and just pause there. So we're going to just make sure that we're nice and square. And again, I want you to draw up between your shoulder blades, and I want you to draw the belly button towards the spine. So even if you've got a big old bump there hanging down, we can still feel as though we're just hugging the baby up into our lower back. So let's take this right hand and open it out to the sides. So again, we're just having that lovely torso twist. So through that thoracic spine, poke those fingertips underneath your left arm and have a little push through, just as far as feels nice to twist and open that spine. Feels lovely on my back. So opening up, little push through, and again, let's open up. Lovely. Little push through. Fabulous. And then just come back to the center. Take that left one let's open up, so it gives the left wrist a rest. Little poke through. So feel that nice rotation around the middle of your torso, through the area of the thoracic spine and midsection of our spine. That lovely rotation, little push through. Feels super nice on my back. So opening out and pushing back again. Lovely. And then pop that hand back down again. And then again, I just want you to go a little bit wider on your knees this time. Take that little side to side action first. And then go round in your circle. So round you go. And then if you take your circle round the other way, keeping that breathing going all the time. And then come back to the centre. Just have a little sit back into a modified child's pose here. So you might need to even shuffle your knees wider. So to get my elbows anywhere near to the floor, I need to go really wide with those knees. And that's as low as I'm going to be able to go. So just can't go any further these days. Bump is too big. Let your head hang down if you want to. And then if you walk your hands back towards you, so you can use your hands on the floor to help roll your spine back up. And untuck the head at the top. Lovely. So we're going to pop onto our backs to stretch that lower back a little bit more. However is comfortable for you to get down onto your backs. So for me, I'm going to wiggle forwards. I'm going to go onto my side. And then I'm going to push onto my back from there. So however works best for you to come down into the floor. So let's just get that pelvis into neutral. So imagine still that you're tucking your tailbone. So when we're laying down, we haven't got the weight of the bump pulling the pelvis forwards, but we still want to think about tucking the tailbone. So if I was not to tuck my tailbone, see this big arch underneath my lower back? I can meet my fingertips there. That is how my back naturally wants to sit, because I've got that anterior tilt on my pelvis. So I need to just bring that tailbone underneath me so that my lower back isn't driving down into the floor, but it is just gently kissing the floor. So let's just think about imprinting that lower back into the floor and just start to work with the pelvis. Take a big inhale breath, and then I want you to tuck that lower back right into the floor. So imagine that you're exaggerating your pelvic tilt and you're going overboard on it. So the lower back really pushes down, it imprints. And then exhale. But just come back to neutral, don't over roll. Back to neutral. And let's start to squeeze that pelvic floor up as you roll back. And then just release. And again, so I find this much easier to concentrate on my pelvic floor now when I am laying on the floor. Much easier than when I'm standing up. And then just release down. And again, if we do, let's do 2 or 3 more of those. So coming back, hold that squeeze. Don't forget the breath. And again, take breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just doing one more. So the breathing pattern we're going to find really useful in labour. And exhale. Lovely. So let's take the arms out wide if you can. Come up onto your tiptoes. Let's roll across that lower back. So start to have that little bit of movement side to side. Just making it as small or as big as you want to. Maybe taking the head away with you as well. And then the next time you come over to the right, if you go ahead and flop all the way over to the right side, have a little pause there and look out into those left fingertips. And then just come on back to the centre. Over you go. Plop over to the left. Have a little stretch there. And then just come back to the centre. Lovely. And just relax those arms down. So let's just bring the knees wide of the chest and just have a little bit of a stretch. So draw those knees up. So you might not be able to hug them right up towards your ears like you used to be able to, but just a little bit of a squeeze in to help stretch that low back. And then let's just pop the feet down. Give yourself a little roll onto your side and a little push push. And let's just pop onto hands and knees one more time. So here we are, hands and knees. Just checking how much sofa room I've got before I kick the sofa. So let's go to our Superman here. So drawing up between the shoulders and just hugging that baby in towards that low spine. Inhale, breath. Exhale. So I'm going to keep my knees bent because the sofa's in the way. But if you can stretch out your leg, then that's fantastic. Doorbell, just wait with 2 seconds for me, folks. Thank you, cheers. Thank you, and you. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Posty. Delivering Christmas presents, but if I don't get it now, they'll take it all the way back to the post office, and then you've got to leave the house and go and collect your post, and we're supposed to be isolating. Right then, folks, so get back onto those hands and knees. Where were we? Superman. Okay, so drawing back up again. Let's go. Super. So ignore my bent knee. So my sofa's just a bit too close. So if you can keep that leg straight, then that's great. If you've got stuff behind you in your room as well, though, then we can always shorten that lever. See, I'm out of breath now from running up the stairs. Let's remember the head and neck alignment. So try not to let your head drop down. And try not to lift it up and look forwards. Let's look down into that mat. Lovely. So should we do one more on either side? Just tuck up again through the upper back. Through that lower spine. Hug that baby in. Let's just do one more here. Beautiful. And just have a little sit back again. Might need to take those knees super wide and just whatever you can here. Have a little snug through that lower back. Oh, baby's head feels like a big bowling ball down in my pelvis. Feels very odd. And then just start to creep those hands back and just roll that spine back out and finish by rolling your shoulders and just opening that chest up again. So I've just about got my breath back. So let's pop onto a comfortable seated position just to take a last couple of stretches to finish. So if you pop down onto your bottom, however you are comfy. So I'm still comfortable with my legs crossed, but if you'd rather have your legs out or in a V shape, absolutely fine. Whatever is comfortable for you. We want to finish with that spine up lovely and tall. So let's not start to slump now, but let's keep that lifting through that rib cage. Yeah. Inhale, breath. As you inhale, I want you to squeeze that pelvic floor up. Imagine that canopy of muscles. Squeezing them up and away from the floor. holding that little bit of tension and then releasing them under control. So again, we're going to squeeze up, releasing under control. So we don't want to just let them go all at once. 3 more, so let's squeeze up. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. 2 more here, so squeeze that canopy of muscles up and down. And then if we just do that one more time, so squeeze up and down, releasing there, lovely. So stepping around to that right side, so that lovely final spine twist. Use that right hand to push your spine up. So you really feel like you're lifting and lengthening. So the right hand's nice and close to your bottom if you can. And then just squeeze on over to the other side, step the hands, left hand nice and close to your bottom. So you do feel like you're lifting up. And then just come back to the centre. Pop your right hand out, take the left arm up and over. A little bit of an extension. Oh, everything along the ribs. I just love these side extension stretches. They are just my favourite. Left one down. It never doesn't feel good. And I don't think any time spent stretching and mobilising one more either side is time wasted. Lovely. Let's just do one more. Pop that hand down, up and over. Oh, it feels so nice. And then just relax down here. Just check the shoulders are relaxed back and down. Have a little sinky chin. Have a nice big inhale and exhale breath. Let the shoulders drop a wee bit lower. And come on up. Just a little dip right ear down. Just through the centre, have a little dip, left one down. And then come up, drop your chin. And then just come on up, relax the arms, deep breath in. And then exhale down. Lovely, let's just do one more. Hands together. Come on down. Ending session for today. Well done, folks. So lovely job. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I will see you guys Thursday morning. Ooh, getting a bit of some kind of sciatic pain through that left side. It takes me by surprise every now and then. So keep looking after yourselves. Look after those bumps. And hopefully we will find out this week what's going to happen next week. Let's keep our fingers crossed for a little bit of normality in the run up to Christmas. We really need that Christmas time, I think. Take care, everyone, and any comments, do pop them underneath the vid, and I will do what I can to address them before I see you again.